Well, if you want to know where I've been for the past 3 weeks, I think I need to explain myself because I've been gone for like a whole month, and that's not okay. First thing, I went to New York on the last 2 weeks of the 3 week hiatus. I went to specifically I went to Virginia to see family, which was really nice. I got to meet all my cousins that I didn't, and I got to go to New York, which was nice. Got to go to Times Square, World Trade Center, blah blah blah. But the most important part about my New York trip was what is it called? I went to Nintendo of New York. This is the video of how I beat Pokemon Heart Gold, but with only flying types. Now I want to make this clear. This is gonna be the first part of two. This first part will only contain Johto and the Indigo Plateau League. The second part will contain from that point onward till I beat Red, the end of the game. Now with that in mind, I want to talk about the flying type Pokemon that are available in Pokemon Heart Gold. Now I'm going to be honest, there are a lot of them as shown on screen. The Gen 2 games had a lot, but thanks to the added bonus of Gen 3 and 4, we get even more this time. First off, unfortunately, we can't use Skarmory or Delibird this run. Both the Delibird and Skarmory are only exclusives for Soul Silver. I chose Heart Gold because there are way more good flying types in this game. Like Gligar, I just mentioned, is an exclusive. There are a lot of exclusive flying types. Along with the Mega, which can get speed boost, which would be amazing. That is just the tip of the iceberg. We have a lot more flying types to come, and a lot more for this challenge. Electric, Ice, and Rock will be very deadly to us, as they are super effective damage, and one of them is a gym leader, which I don't really like that much. But we'll see how I get through it. Also, I'd like to show you the rules that I use for this run, which are the hardcore rules. These rules have been established to make the run a lot more harder, taking out items and level capping towards the gym leader's ace, the highest leveled Pokemon in the gym leader's party. Also, I play with no EVs this run and instead add rare candies, since by taking out EVs I don't gain any every level, and also just it makes it so hard to grind in this game because the highest level Pokemon that you can normally find are like level 24. That is really discouraging and very annoying. So for that reason, I'm using rare candies in order to get to our level cap and keep this content on time. Yeah, I've been gone for 3 months. This is what on time is now. This is how I beat Pokemon Heart Gold with only flying type Pokemon in a hardcore Nuzlocke. Enjoy. After naming myself and heading out for Professor Elm's lab, the first thing that really matters in this run is which starter we pick. Now, this wouldn't matter because none of them are flying types, but you'd be wrong in saying that. Because you see, if you didn't know, depending on which Pokemon you choose here, your rival will choose the opposite that is stronger against it. For example, if I were to pick Totodile, my rival would pick Chikorita, grass type, since I'm a water type. This is exactly what we want. Since Meganium is weak against flying type Pokemon, this makes it even better, because this becomes a cog that doesn't matter anymore in the system. We can just kill this without having to worry about it later in the run, unlike a Feraligatr that can get access to Ice Fang, which is really annoying, since we're weak to ice types. The first Pokemon that I'm able to catch is a Pidgey or a Hoothoot, but since it's not nighttime, Hoothoot's not available, so we get a Pidgey instead. This one is a bit annoying since its nature is, I forgot what it is, but it's plus Spadef and minus speed. Spadef meaning special defense. I don't really like this because flying types should be a bit more speedy than this, and not the best ideal. On the next route over, I catch a Sparrow, which is also minus speed. This is starting to get a bit annoying. Also, I'm not going to nickname these Pokemon. I don't have anything planned, and nicknaming is supposed to get you more attached, but from the way that I perceive Nuzlocking, this doesn't really matter to me. How I am attracted to a Pokemon and enjoy having it on my team more and more is based on how good it is. So if these Pokemon don't do anything good in their run, then I don't really care for them. I only care for how long they can carry me through the run, rather than how cool they look or how cool they are or this or that. So I'm not too worried about nicknaming my Pokemon, so please understand that. It's an optional thing for me. Our next encounter is actually on Dark Cave. We get a lot of encounters this run since they're actually available to us. We're actually given these encounters in the set order: Pidgey, Sparrow, Hoothoot, Zubat, and Hoppip. before the first gym. This is honestly amazing. Unfortunately, by the time that I'm streaming, I'm actually not able to get a Hoot Hoot since you have to be at night, and I don't know how to change my system's clock. So I'm gonna have to do that off screen in order to get a Hoot Hoot. But we get our Zubat from Dark Cave, and also we get a Hoppip right outside Violet City. Next is the Sprout Tower, thanks to some quick planning using the supporting character, which is Hoppip, and our main attacker Sparrow and Pidgey in order to defeat it. Next is the first gym, the Flying type gym. Faulkner thinks that he can challenge me, the superior Flying type trainer, but little did he know I'm soaring in higher heights than he is. I immediately beat his Pidgeot, then his Pidgeotto using these strats. I slowly use Sand Attack in order to get rid of its accuracy, making it barely able to hit me. I switch into Hoppip, since it only takes about 1/3 of damage from Gust, and I put it into status effect. Next I switch into my Sparrow, and slowly start taking this thing down to peg. Easy gym badge. I don't even know why Faulkner thought he would be able to go up against me, the superior Flying type trainer. The next battle is against Bugsy, and that's the major one that we have. I'm a little bit scared because the Scyther is really powerful compared to all my Pokemon that don't actually evolve yet. It has U-turn, which can do major damage, but I realized that Zubat can actually resist this, being it's a poison type, which is really nice. These secondary typings that are really good, unlike the normal types that we usually get, will be really nice. But having a poison type flying type is really nice since it resists a lot of moves. Also getting Bite, it makes it easier to traverse Union Cave with all its rock type trainers, specifically the Geodude that is almost unavoidable thanks to stupid Gen 4 spinners. But next up is Slowpoke Cave, which we take down with ease. Actually, we almost lose our Sparrow here. It's kind of scary. Next up is Bugsy, which I didn't really have a plan for since I didn't really think about the Scyther during this time. I just thought it's an easy bug type gym, there's no problem with it. Scyther's the only problem, but all our Pokemon can practically take it out. Except I'm a bit wrong. This thing single-handedly takes us down 2 times. Yes, that's right. We've burned through 2 attempts just trying to beat this. This is going to be a very hard fight, and I wish I realized that sooner. This Scyther is so strong with its quick attack, especially since its moveset with said quick attack, it also has Leer, U-turn, and most importantly, Focus Energy. Now, Focus Energy you may not think is important, but Focus Energy allows this thing to get at least 1 critical hit while it's out on the field. And that's really scary, because 1 critical hit can one-shot any of my Pokemon. So I really need a good strategy for attempt 3 if I want to take this thing on. For the next attempt, I pick up a Hoot Hoot. This will be extremely important in the fight against Scyther, specifically because it gets access to Reflect and Growl. With Reflect, it can set up a high defense. That way, a quick attack won't get through. Thanks for us dodging a critical hit, we're able to get off so many Growls, and we can switch into Zubat. Quick attack does almost no damage, and we're able to take it down with a few wing attacks, the same for the rest of her team. Not really important because her team only consists of a Metapod and a Kakuna. Not very important Pokemon, but the second gym badge now in our hands. I go to Elix Forest and I try to pick up a Butterfree using the Headbutt trees. It's available, but unfortunately we aren't able to get one within our time limit, which was 30 minutes. Next up is the most definitely scary Miltank in Whitney's gym. Now, this third gym shouldn't be so hard, right? They're just normal types. We have like 3 of them. But this is going to be harder than we think. If you didn't know, Whitney's Miltank is known as a very dangerous run killer. Now, obviously, I could avoid this by picking up a fighting type, but we're doing a flying type challenge, meaning we're not given access to it. Also, the Miltank has Rollout, which does more damage every turn unless it's stopped with moves like Protect, or it just misses. Although it has a low rate, our first battle, we get hit by all our rollouts. So it was really annoying to lose that run. The next run, however, I come back, this time with a Butterfree and a Yanma from the next route over, which is a 1% encounter. Sparrow was out against Miltank and it was taking too much damage. I didn't want to lose Sparrow since it was going to be our main normal flying type for this run and our main flyer, and I didn't want to switch this out. So, I sack Hoot Hoot. The reason for this is because I already have a Butterfree which can do status conditions and already has access to psychic type moves. The only reason why I was keeping Hoot Hoot was for its psychic type attacks. But with Butterfree, it becomes useless, especially with the psychic type that comes on later in the run. So I don't see a need for this one. Due to that sack, I get a free switch into Yanma. Now, you may be thinking that this thing is 4 times weak against rollout, so it'll die in one hit. Actually, it won't. But predicting, I do have to use a strategy of protect with the detect move, which allows you to protect, but it only has 5 turns, which means I have to use it sparingly, and double team. By using this strategy, I'm able to take it down with sonic booms. You see, Miltank has so high defenses, but Sonic Boom, on the other hand, does 20 damage directly each turn. So I just keep dealing 20 after 20 after 20 with Sonic Boom, using a combination of Protect and Double Team. This thing can't hit me at all, while I am totally able to kill it. Oh yeah, and also, I spend over a whole day on Tuesday in the bug catching contest in order to find a 5% Scyther. You see, the reason why I was doing this is because Scyther is super powerful, as seen on Bugsy's team, especially for early game. Now that we've seen the 3 legendary dogs, which aren't that important to the story. Oh yeah, speaking of legendaries, I'm banning them from this run. That's right, Ho-Oh, Lugia, Moltres, Articuno, and Zapdos won't be available this run. They would be really cool to use, especially giving us the upper hand, but that just seems way too OP, especially with their stats. It kinda gets rid of the fun of the game, would you say? Next up is Morty, the 4th gym. Now, this gym is not that hard at all. You see, ghost types can't hit normal types, meaning our Pharaoh and our Pidgeotto can deal damage against this, specifically our Pharaoh. I decide to use Golbat in this fight because it has access to a super effective bite, and I just keep using it until it gets low on some HP, so I switch it out into Pharaoh, who doesn't take damage from anything. Immediately we go to Olivine City, but on the road there, we get access to Farfetch, which is a flying type, but while I'm recording, since that bug catching contest took so long, I actually had to do this at night, where Farfetch'd unfortunately isn't available, so I'm gonna have to wait till the next day in order to catch it. Having made it to Cianwood through the water routes, I now take on Chuck, the fighting type gym, which is fairly easy really, since we are flying types after all. There's no challenge here. He only has 2 Pokemon. That's kind of weak, especially for a fighting type gym. Now is the savior of this run, the shiny Gyarados that we get access to. This is amazing. Having a Gyarados with Intimidate and Ice Fang is great. Intimidate, first off, lowers the attack of other Pokemon, especially for a lot of the other gyms where they're attacking, specifically a lot of gyms coming up, and just trainers that can run our day in general. This thing can also take on Magnemites and is faster than Magnemite and Magneton, which are the 2 electric types that'll give us a lot of problems. I go back to the lighthouse in Olivine City, and I give the secret potion to the Ampharos that's there, allowing me to take on the 6th gym, but I don't do so yet. After doing the Team Rocket event, which has nothing of event, Lance the Vampire coming with his dragons, in order to practically kill a guy with Hyper Beam, who's somehow still intact. I must say, he's the one I want for my flying type team. Can you fly? Because if you can, I'd like you on. I'd like you on the team. Next is Price, the gym leader that I'm most scared of out of all of them. The reason why I'm scared of Price is because of his ice types. Oh wait, we have a Gyarados, this should be easy. But let's make it a bit more difficult and only use the Gyarados against the Piloswine, the main threat on his team. It's a ground ice type, meaning that we can kill it with a super effective water type move from Gyarados. The main reason why I'm doing this is because if I just use Gyarados this whole fight, I will lose Gyarados. There's no actual way for me to beat this with Gyarados taking so much damage from Dugong and Seal. I won't survive. So how will I get to Piloswine in perfect condition? Well, the correct answer is I have to sack another Pokemon. But this time, a much more unimportant Pokemon. Jumpluff, or as you knew it before, Hoppip, is on our team. I know I haven't been talking about it a lot, but I did evolve this on our way to the Olivine City, which I probably should have mentioned before. But yeah, we have a Jumpluff, but it's nothing of use at all right now. I actually think it's a good idea to sack it. The reason why it's not of use is because its main thing is being a supporting role, but Butterfree already fills that role, so we don't need it anymore. Butterfree already has Sleep Powder, and it has Psybeam, and it gets access to Bug Buzz later, which is really nice. Honestly, I don't see use for Jumpluff here. So I use it to kill off the Seal, and then it dies against the Dugong. Since it took down the Seal with a lot of Bullet Seeds, it actually took forever just to kill one small little Pokemon, which shows how weak it is and how it's not going to do as much good later on. The Dugong, we get super lucky on. We almost died to this with a few of our Pokemon like Yanmega, oh yeah, it's evolved from Yanma, and our Crobat almost died to this. It's super scary, but our strategy with swapping out and almost dying plays out. Thus, the almost dying part wasn't part of the plan, but let's just say it is, alright? For my sake. Then I kill the Piloswine with Gyarados, which honestly is really exciting for me, because I thought I was going to lose more Pokemon than I actually planned for. The 7th badge belongs to us now. Next is Olivine City, which I'm actually really scared of. The Magnemites have Thunderbolt. They can take us down without a threat in the world. Oh wait, Gyarados is faster and has access to Aqua Tail. Huh. Not only that, but it takes out the Steelix in one hit as well. Yeah, I really like this Pokemon. The Team Rocket event, which honestly makes this one of the worst games story-wise in the Pokemon series. Team Rocket only exists so that the way they can call back their Lord and Savior Giovanni. But are you serious? Really now? That's all? This attack kind of reminds you of the Silphco attack, but immediately the leverage and everything that holds the tension in the scene is taken away due to the only reason why they hold the tower, just so they can get access to Giovanni and ask him to come home. But back to the gameplay with flying types, this is immediately just a tease. We go through this without a problem in the world. There's really nothing of note here. So, now that we're done with the Team Rocket event, it's time for Blackthorn City. The last gym leader in this game, Claire, is honestly an actual easy fight for once. You'd think it's hard, but although they are Dragon type, we do have Ice Fang Gyarados, which actually, again, doesn't come into play. We actually have a pretty good team on our hands. Let me show you. First off, Yanmega takes out Gyarados with a combination of a few double teams and some ancient powers, which we get an Omni Boost from. An Omni Boost is a boost to all of our stats, which ancient power can do only sometimes. This helps us take down the Gyarados with ease. Next up is the Dragonairs, which get taken out with a combination of Crobat using Confuse Ray, Mean Look, and Wing Attack. These things don't stand a chance. Next up, and lastly, is the Kingdra. A bit fearful since it has Hydro Pump, which almost kills our Butterfree, but we survive, and we get off a Sleep Powder, while also dodging a Hydro Pump. That's pretty scary as well. We switch into Scyther and take it down with X Scissors, gaining us our 8th bat. Come on, can't you just give it to me? Well, Claire's a bit of a whiny girl, so she won't give me the badges unless I answer the questions from the stage. Oh, look at that. Just keep button mashing your way through this, and you get the 8th badge. Questions aren't hard. We get the 8th badge. Let's keep moving to the Pokemon League. Before going to the Pokemon League, we pick up a few things. Mainly, Pokemon. First off, we pick up Gligar, which is very important. It'll come more in handy towards the second part of this game, which is Kanto, which we'll leave for the next video, so we'll box this for now. But we get a Dodrio, a Mantine, and a Farfetch'd. Well, the Farfetch'd and the Mantine aren't really major. The Doduo will be part of the team. Dodrio will actually be a pretty good part of the Elite Four, taking out a few Pokemon, but let's just show Elite Four. The first of the Elite Four is Will. Now Will has Psychic type Pokemon. I'm not too scared since I have Bug types, right? But I'm a bit wrong. First he leads with Xatu, so I lead with Yanmega. I try to kill it with Ancient Power, but Psychic does way too much damage than I expected, so I switch out into Gyarados, who uses Ice Fang in order to take out Xatu. I then take out the Jinx with Waterfall, but then comes out the Exeggutor. I switch into the only Pokemon that I think can take it out, my Scyther. But due to it using Reflect, the first turn, X-Scissor leaves it with a Sliver, which has to be 1 HP, but it doesn't matter now. I kill it in the next 2 turns, it's no big problem. Next is the Xatu, and I stay in the Night Slash. I don't think an Aerialist will kill, and I'm right, but it leaves me with only 3 HP. Really scary. I switch into my Pharaoh, who hits with the Fly, but only leaves it with the Sliver again, but gets hit hard by Psychic, only surviving with 6 HP. But I'm able to kill it with Drill Peck since I'm faster. Last but surely not least is the Slowbro. This Slowbro is much more dangerous due to me only having 1 healthy Pokemon, which was a Crobat. But this Slowbro has Psychic, so I can't go into Crobat at all. Seeing no other option, I switch into a healthy Dodrio. Now, I don't think Dodrio would survive the Psychic, but it only uses Water Pulse against Dodrio. I slowly start to take this thing down, while it just uses Curse in order to get its defenses up, which is really unfortunate because it survives on a Sliver when I thought I was going to take it out, and will use this a full restore in order to heal it. The next Drill Peck luckily crits. I was not expecting this. To get a crit in such a pivotal moment was amazing. This allows us to survive with all our Pokemon. I'm a bit scared now that I've only barely survived against Will, but we should be fine actually going in. The Koga fight is actually nothing to be worried about. After taking out Ariados with no trouble, I switch into Gyarados so I can take out the Fortress. But it doesn't have any good moves against me, and I guess it doesn't want to use Explosion because all it uses is Swift and Toxic Spikes. Not wanting my Pokemon to get poisoned, I actually go for this strat, Dragon Dancing. This is the way you win with your Gyarados, if you didn't know. You see, by Dragon Dancing, I raise my attack and my speed, making me faster than the Venomoth and the Crobat in the back. So, I take down the Fortress with a 3 times attack Waterfall, and the same for the Muck that follows, coming up with the Venomoth and the Crobat. I just got myself my second win in the Elite Four. But Bruno, on the other hand, doesn't have much to say. The only Pokemon that brings up a scare is Machamp, but everything else is actually easy. Bruno should also be a bit more easier, right? He leads off with a Hitmontop, so I lead with Pharaoh. Thinking I'm about to kill it with a Drill Peck, it surprises me and switches into Onix. I didn't know AI switches in Heartgold Soul Silver, let alone the Elite Four, but no biggie. I switch into Gyarados, get off the Intimidate boost, since Onix has almost no attack, and also getting its attack lowered again, this Rock Slide does about nothing. I kill it, and next up is a Hitmonchan. This should be easy, right? It has Thunder Punch, but I kill it with no problem. The big problem is the Machamp that comes behind it. It has Rock Slide and is super powerful with the Citrus Berry. I'm really scared of this. I don't see myself surviving. But Dodrio pulls out again, getting a critical hit with Drill Peck. Again, one-shotting it. I was not expecting this. A 2-time critical hit, even though they're 2 separate battles in 2 different spots. They still happen. This was honestly amazing. Getting a critical hit this lucky with the Drill Peck? Yeah, I didn't see that happening. Karen, although the last Elite Four member, is actually easier than the rest. I lead Scyther against this Umbreon and kill it. Then I switch to Gyarados in order to kill the Murkrow and the Houndoom. With the Vileplume, I switch back into Scyther in order to wing attack it. And then finally the Gengar falls to a super effective Night Slash. Pretty easy honestly, although I can't say the same for Champion Lance. Honestly the hardest fight. Finally, the champion, the most scariest fight of all. Let's see what he's made of. Lance leads with Gyarados, which is honestly pretty scary for my team since almost nothing can take it out and Gyarados can barely match it strength due to Intimidate. But I lead with Yanmega, who gets a critical hit off its first turn, allowing me to kill it the next, getting an Omni boost. I then use Ancient Power against the upcoming Aerodactyl, but I also die in the process. Honestly, the reason that I left Yanmega out was because I knew it was gonna die this run. I honestly knew that it wasn't gonna do us damage, because it's honestly not gonna do good against the upcoming gym leader fights. At least I think so. With all the Pokemon that we get, especially with the 2 other Pokemon that we get later in the Kanto game, I don't see us using Yanmega at all. So I sacrifice it here. Although it's not in vain, I'm able to get a free switch into Gyarados who uses Waterfall. Although I'm able to hit with Waterfall, it's not before I get hit with the super effective Thunder Fang, which leaves me with only 22 HP. Honestly, I don't know how I survived, but up next is the scary Dragonite. Not just the first, there's more to come, but I have to get past this one first. Honestly, seeing no way out, I think it's my time to sacrifice. If I don't land this Dragon Dance, I don't see me winning the run. But either God was watching this run, or I'm just extremely lucky with my save. Immediately, Dragonite misses Dragon Rush, allowing me to get a Dragon Dance off, making me faster than the Dragonites, allowing me to kill with Ice Fang, which is boosted, let me remind you, by a Never Melt Ice and the attack boost that I got off. This was amazing. Then I kill the next Dragonite, which comes out, but the one that is level 50 is scaring me a little bit. I actually did the calcs for this after the match, and I figured out that I'm actually faster, and I could have killed here, but I decided to switch into Crobat, which can actually survive a Hyper Beam, which is why I decided to leave it out against this one level 50 Dragonite. I used Confuse Ray, and surprisingly, it gets hit. It hits itself with every single confusion turn, allowing me to use Wing Attack in order to chip it down, forcing it to eat its Citrus Berry, and almost kill it. But I decide that this isn't going to be enough. So while it's recharging from a Hyper Beam, I switch into Scyther and kill it with Wing Attack, which surprisingly just barely kills. Next and last is Charizard. I know that now, with all the Pokemon and the damage that they've taken, I can't switch into anything without taking damage. So I switch into Dodrio and use Drill Peck one last time. The reason why I sacked Dodrio here is because, honestly, Pharaoh will do us a lot more better in this run. I don't see Dodrio honestly doing a lot, although its speed can come in handy. Pharaoh's been with us a long time, and honestly, having Fly, Drill Peck, and Roost allows it to be pretty darn good. So what do? I switch into Pharaoh and use Fly. Fly just barely kills, but Lance doesn't have any more full restores since he's already used them. So I use Drill Peck one last time. Dragon Claw should have killed, but I survive on 4 HP and get off the Drill Peck. Somehow, on some miraculous event, I win the fight. Thank you for watching. This run was honestly fun, and I want to do more like these on my channel. I want to take a break from playing Pokemon Renegade Platinum or other types of advancement ROM hacks, so I'm honestly having a lot of fun playing these on stream ever since I got back. So, I'm going to be playing monotype challenges. That's going to be my go-to now. Honestly, enjoying watching them on YouTube and enjoying doing my own is honestly very fun. I hope you continue to support this series, as I do hope to do this more often. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the Kanto video.